Sometime within the next minute or so, somewhere on the planet, another big idea is being born. It might be a new song, a new product, who knows? And who knows how to make this idea grow and introduce it to the world? Let's find out. Welcome to The Next Big Idea with your host, Peter Gantner. The program is sponsored by kulaBrands, dedicated to help with branding, funding, and marketing the next big idea. And if that idea is yours, you want to pay particular attention to the particulars. Peter and his co-hosts and guests will explain just how it's done. If you happen to be an investor or just an interested party, you could benefit from the efforts of kulaBrands. You could become a part of their community of folks who want to help others and make money in the process. If that sparks your curiosity or wets your whistle, sit up and take notice. kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and his guests on The Next Big Idea.
We are back. This is Peter Gantner with another episode of The Next Big Idea. And of course, I have my co-host, Deb Caswell. How are you, Deb?
I am fantastic, Peter. Thank you so much for asking.
Woo! And then our sidekick, Mr. Cory Moran. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing amazing. How's everybody doing out there?
I guess next time you'll have to be the co-host and Deb will have to be the sidekick. That's the way we'll have to put that together, right? Every other show or something.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll be a kick in your side anytime.
Well, awesome, guys. We are back today. Very special day. Once a week, we bring on supporters of entrepreneurs, right? The people. So kulaBrands is a community of people that have come together for the common purpose of building residual income by helping inventors succeed. So we know a lot about the support system that's needed to help inventors. And so this show, we have 4 amazing supporters. We have Lori Evans, Richard Resnik, Henry Tucker, and Kathy Bidelman we're going to interview today, and they are going to talk about their experience in helping. Right now, kulaBrands has helped 43 specific inventors through the process. We've had some good, bad, some ugly, and we're going to get into that today. So, Lori, how are you today?
I am fantastic and so excited to be here with these awesome people in our amazing community.
Awesome. And can you just give us a little bit about yourself, Lori?
Yes, I am 52. I know you want to know that. And I'm a mama of 2 amazing kids. And my sonny is also a Kula member who happened to earn himself a founding position in Kula. And I just love all things about what we do, helping entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur at heart and taught school for many years and just super excited to be a part of such an amazing community. And as you can tell, I am a superlative queen. Awesome, amazing, and whatever.
That is awesome. Richard, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good afternoon, Peter. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
I'm Richard. I'm from 42. I live in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. I am a jewelry designer and work nights as well at a wonderful restaurant. I love kulaBrands, what we do and everything that we've been doing with all the inventors, helping them get started. I love interacting with the inventors as far as helping them on the creative. If sometimes, they get the chance to pick my brain a little, and I get to share some of my expertise and help them along. So, and just supporting them, like when they post on in the community, and as far as design or sort of just concepts for even slogans. Even I love getting involved in the creative aspect of it.
All right. Well, thank you, Richard. And Henry Tucker.
Yes, sir. How you doing there, Peter?
Absolutely fantastic. So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? What do you do for a living, family situation? And, because we're going to dig into helping the entrepreneurs and stuff and that side of it. But just tell them a little bit about yourself, Henry.
Yeah, I'm an old 65-year-old man, family man, have a wife, and I work for one of the largest beer bottling companies in the world called Owens, Illinois. And I love to fish, and I'm a kulaBrands member. Excuse me, kulaBrands member. Ever since joining kulaBrands, I have met some of the most incredible people on this earth.
That is awesome. And then, of course, we have Kathy Bidelman with us. How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. I am a mom of 4. I work full-time as a postmaster of a small town in Western PA, and I am so blessed to be a part of this community. And I love the people. I love to be able to support our inventors and our companies, and it's just a really neat community spirit. It's like we are another family, and I love each and every one of the people I've gotten to know in this company.
That is awesome. So we're just going to jump into it here, guys. Support of entrepreneurs. So being an entrepreneur, first of all, and I've said this, and I probably will almost say this every show, is like climbing Mount Everest naked with no guide. I mean, your chances of making it are slim to none. It is a very tough journey to go there. And one of the things that I found through my journey, which is what got me to start kulaBrands, is I realized that there were a lot of people, customers, early adopters of my product, that helped me get my companies, my products off the ground, which ultimately helped them become successful. Can any of you guys just jump in, tell me, what is it that drives you guys to want to help these inventors succeed and bring their products to the marketplace? Just give us a little bit about that experience of helping with a project. So seeing it, you know, the inventor comes on and they tell you the idea and you say, yes, I want to help out. What's that driving motivator to get you guys really involved with those inventors?
Well, I know for me, I personally love supporting our inventors. I love hearing about their projects and what it takes really to really get a project off the ground, and to be able to be a part of that has been so special for these past 4 years. I know Henry had something to add.
Yeah, you know, the inventors that I have had the pleasure of meeting, they will work as hard as the community to get their products out there. As long as they're showing that they're willing to get out there with 80 hours a week, 7 days a week, we're going to support them in any way we can.
I also think a motivation is our financial security as well. Not only are we supporting the inventors, we get a product when we do, but we are also, hoping and believing that these companies are going to produce greatly in the future and help set us up financially. So that definitely is a motivation as well.
And for me, I love, of course, the dream of the money that's going to come from all this, but just to be a part of something, someone's idea, someone that took action and said, you know what, this is my dream, this is what I want, what if, and let me do this. And then we all get to be there in the beginning stages of it and to be a part of it through all the steps. So I'm motivated to jump in and go flying out of the blocks with them, and then jump in later on and maybe do some social media work with them, or whatever it is. It's just being a part of something so much bigger than any one of us as one person.
Yeah,
But
I think
a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you've made a great point, Lori, and also Kathy and Henry. You've all said it. It's, I think, the very special thing here, and I think a lot what most people love is being a part of something bigger than themselves. And really, you talk about chasing paper and chasing dreams in your life. When you're chasing something that you're so passionate about, and with that focus here is the passion is helping others, and the availability and the plethora of opportunities to help so many different people on so many different levels. That's a great common theme, and I think that's really what makes this thing so powerful, is that you have a lot of people that think that same way, that have on the same wavelength, and it creates that synergistic energy. So thank you, Lori, for mentioning that.
Yeah, I love that. It's really important. And, it brings me to what we're going to talk about in this next segment, which is some of the stuff that we do inside of the community to help support even our community members. So it's really important that we're all here to support the inventors, but I think it's also important that we have an avenue for people inside of the community to connect with like-minded individuals, all of us, right? We do some pretty special things in there that Cory and I are going to talk about in this next segment that I know each and every one of you are involved with, and that's our ability to bond, in there.
I think I've heard from a lot of members, Deb, that this is almost like being part of a sports team or part of, things that they were involved with early in their life where they really felt together and connected. And that's part of the process, because when we're dealing with it, there's always going to be problems. It's not, working on problems and fixing things as an entrepreneur, it's not maybe or if it might happen. It is going to happen. You are going to run across challenges and problems just like in life. And so the goal is to figure out solutions and work together. And one of the great things about a community aspect and about this support system that we're talking with entrepreneurs is that when you get multiple people together and you can get that feedback, figuring out solutions, being able to overcome problems is much easier. That is one of the traps of being an entrepreneur. You're stuck with yourself. You do not have answers to the solutions to those problems. So on the other side of this break, man, we're going to get more into this. Thank you for seeing us on the show. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet, and you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on the next big idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back. The weekly Dent Market Digest is heard on Better Living Radio. It features Harry Dent, well-known master of the new science of finance. Along with co-host Rodney Johnson, Harry explains how they forecast the markets. As detailed at harrydent.com, there are some keys. First, predictable spending patterns at various ages and stages of life. Second, who spends what? As larger groups age and spend more, the economy grows. Third, our birth rate. New generations come along and there are new cycles of spending, earning, and productivity. Next, Harry looks at spending waves to estimate peak spending times. And finally, he looks at the inflation indicators. Now, by analyzing this information, Harry Dent has been able to successfully forecast how spending will change in the years to come. You can follow along by clicking on to harrydent.com, and you can find all of Harry's contact info on the homepage at betterlivingradio.com. Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Well, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
We are back with the next big idea, and our panel of guests are supporters of entrepreneurs, the people, the real backbone behind things. Being an entrepreneur takes a lot of risk, a lot of work, but I got to tell you, it's the people that have been supporting me throughout my career as an entrepreneur that has helped really make a difference, and that's the reason for us starting kulaBrands. We have 4 people that are supporting entrepreneurs right now. Henry, you have a great thing. So you were able to support one of the entrepreneurs with some donations, correct?
Yes, Peter, that is correct.
So tell us a little bit about it, Henry.
I'm not really good with time this happened, but I live here in Texas, and we had a hurricane come down through on the Texas coastline called Hurricane Harvey. So we have an inventor that just started trying to market her baby design she came up with. And I saw them rescuing a lady who just had a baby. And I came to my mind, I was like, well, I got supporting an inventor that has easy on babies to do baby clothes. I'm going to give her a call and see if she'd be willing to start a donation drive, because I would like to help the families. And I was surprised that she was willing and helped me set it up. And we reached out to the Kula community, and we had one well of a turnout. And I was so happy that my inventor was willing to help donate.
And that's awesome. So that's solving a solution, right? So the business needs to get their product out there. There's people that need it. There's other people that want to help out. So by being able to go to the community members will help pay for the cost of the outfits. The inventor was able to give a donation to make it work. And of course, the people who need it most receive it. Guys, business is about solutions, and always those solutions are not. Henry, you actually helped one of our other inventors, I believe, right? Carmen with Swabbies needed to go on a trip, and she did not have the funds available as an entrepreneur to cover the airfare. I believe it was you who put up some airline miles for her to get there. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, Peter. Yes, she's starting a business with the baby diaper cream called Swabby. And she had the flight money, but she reached out to the community and see if she could get some help, to get some support to have some lodging while she was there. She went on the 62nd elevator pitch. So I was fortunate enough to help her out. And she was so blessed, and she was so happy, and so was I.
And buddy, did you use some miles that you had built up or hotel credits to help out in that situation?
No, I didn't. I had to use cash this time.
All right. Well, again, guys, that's the support network that you have available that, you know, if you're able to ask. I love a book. There's a book out there called The Aladdin Factor. And it says, if you don't ask, you're definitely going to get a no, right? But if you ask, you may get a yes, you may get a no. So check out that book for asking for support and help. So Richard, you had mentioned in the first segment, you are a jewelry designer. So you've got a great eye for style and that type of stuff. And you've been able to help use that on helping maybe some of the inventors who might not have that same skill level. They're willing to take the risk. They had an idea for their business. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're helping maybe, or a couple of situations where you've helped some inventors with on your ability for style as a jewelry designer?
Absolutely. So in addition to being a jewelry designer, I used to, with my previous job, I did a lot of manufacturing, product development, merchandising, and product assortment. So in one case, I worked with one of the newer inventors, help them coordinate all of their the stocking system. So you have all their SKUs, how to coordinate it so that way it's easy to call back and program in their inventory control system. Another opportunity, I had to go see Donovan at his live show during his CD release party. I figured I was going up there. I don't know anybody really that much in kulaBrands just yet. I was still fairly new to the community. And I'm like, I don't know anyone else in Chicago. I'm like, you know what? If I'm there, put me to work. So I ran their merch table. I sold their merchandise, and I even organized and did for Crystal her entire inventory online. Like I computerized it for her Square, so that way when she's at shows, all she had to do was push one button to sell a t-shirt, just to ring things in to make it very easy for her to process that stuff. And then another opportunity I'm actually working on, I'm going to be sending some designs for some print-on-demand designs for Easy on Babies coming out soon. So, just to be able to flex my creativity wherever I can, and just send them out and make it happen for them, because sometimes
that's awesome.
Sometimes and inventors don't have really the time to do the creative aspect of it at the same time as sales.
So the model we've built with kulaBrands, guys, allows you guys to monetize that in the long run, right? But outside of the money, give us a little bit of that emotion. So when you help someone, so Richard, you were just going through helping. Henry, you were going through with, being able to help out Carmen and Julietta. How does that feel to you as a person to just dig in there and then watch it succeed, watch it? So, the elevator pitch, Henry, how did it feel to see Carmen when you saw the episode of it, knowing that the reason why that was able to happen is because you pitched in? Same thing with you, Richard. The same thing with Lori, Kathy. You guys jump in here. I want to give our audience the emotion, because there is value beyond just the money side of helping inventors. There's a huge amount of satisfaction, and we had mentioned it a little bit earlier in the segment. Go ahead, Lori.
Yeah, I would love to jump in, because I was getting emotional when I heard Henry tell how he jumped in, and I was doing a bingo and he supported me, and the bingo was for the Helix and one of our brands, and Henry is a jump in guy, and he is behind the scenes encourager, and then hearing what Richard did, and just all of us, we jump in and we all have a part. And some of us have lots of parts, and some of us have big parts and little parts, and we're just we're getting it fine-tuned, just one big machine that's bringing brands. So the icing on the cake is obviously going to be, whoa, what if this is the $1 billion company? We don't even know if we already launched the $1 billion company, or if they're 10 companies away or 10 years away, but we're all a part of this, and we're just a big family in this fine-tuned machine. We're getting there. Of course, we have the kinks, and it's very, very emotional, and it's very exciting, and it's tear-jerking, and it's sweat, and it's elbow grease, and it's just really wonderful to be a part of it. It is.
That's fantastic. Henry, jump in there, buddy. I know you have something that you wanted to say.
Oh, yeah. And after I did that, I'm telling you, it brought tears to my eyes. The young lady, the inventor with the swabbies, she posted in the community what I had stepped up and done and helped her. This is what I like about kulaBrands and the community. Before an inventor comes in the kulaBrands, they have to show themselves that they're willing to get out there and work and help build their own project. Now, if you're going to get out there and work your behind off, well, we're going to be behind you 100%. And that's the thing I love about kulaBrands. And every member is willing to reach out to help you if you need help.
Well, I got to tell you, you guys are an example of people that are making this a better place, this world a better place, right? By reaching out, going out of your way, helping people. But I got to tell you, I know Kathy. I've met her daughter, Ella. Kathy, can you get onto, because this is one of the things I love is, guys, we need to be examples for our children. And when they see us always about, money, it's not a great example. But when your children see you reach out and help somebody, like what Henry's done, Richard's done, Lori's done, Kathy's done, can you cover a little bit of that, Kathy, being that example for your children and having them see you be a supporter of entrepreneurs?
Oh, absolutely. Ella has been with me through it all. She's been to a couple cool parties. She has met you guys. She has felt a part of the family. And I think that is a big thing too, because we are all in this together. And she has seen me, I have told her about different projects and different things. And, she's just turned 10, so it's a lot. But, and sometimes she'll just like, okay, she doesn't really pay much attention, but she will. Everything that, we've been doing, and with the cool parties, her involvement and getting to know everybody, she will see, because we are supporting these inventors and these companies. And yes, she's the one that is going to be benefiting eventually from it. I have told them, at times when I'm like, okay, this is my Thursday night call, or if something else is going on and I want to, be on a call, or I'm doing a live for one of the projects, I explain it to them that I'm doing it for them.
Well, we are coming up on the end of this segment. I'm telling you guys, you are always an example for your kids. Even if you think they're not paying attention, they are paying attention. We will see you on the other side of this break, guys. We are just getting started with this panel. We will be back with supporters of the entrepreneurs.
So are you wondering where the next big idea will come from? Well, you'll hear about it first here at Better Living Radio. See, this is the show called The Next Big Idea. Maybe you got the next big idea, or maybe you just like to make some money from it. Peter Gantner will explain when we come back on Better Living Radio. Each week in his live video market and economy update offered to his inner circle, Dan Frischberg delivers the in-depth, professional version of his famous Market X-ray report, live and interactive. Now that means you get to ask all the questions you want. And if you can't make the live meeting, you can watch the report on demand. Then email your questions in and Dan will email the answers back or include them in the next live report. Week in and week out, Dan brings you the ideas and specific stock picks from his friends, the people you see on TV and read about in the papers. You'll see what they're buying, how they're hedging, and when they're taking money off the table. At last, you'll get to see how the insiders negotiate the institutional macro bonds that billionaires on Wall Street rely on, the ones almost everyone else never even heard of. When you become an Inner Circle member, Dan will share with you his lifetime of experience and guide you to the best teachers, the best stock pickers, the best option strategists. And you'll be invited to exclusive working vacations in beautiful locations for the Inner Circle only, where you'll rub elbows with some of the most famous investors on Wall Street. So, how do you value the lifetime of skill and experience of a top investor on a mission to share it all with you and help you become one of the few winners? If you've been listening to Dan for a few years, he's likely already made you tons of money, or even more important, saved you from losing a fortune. Now, there are limits to the capacity of the online video sessions, but right now, for a limited time, Dan's offering you the position of charter subscriber, get this, for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. For all the info or to subscribe, just simply click on themoneyman.com. Themoneyman.com. Welcome back to Better Living Radio and this amazing idea for a radio show. It's called The Next Big Idea. Rather ironic, wouldn't you say? Hey, if you've got an idea, you might want to talk with host Peter Gantner or one of his guests here at Better Living Radio. Oh, look, here they come now.
So, of course, guys, on this show, we are back after the break. Thank you with the next big idea. There is difficulty in building businesses, and where there are difficulty, there are always lessons that people need to learn to get through those. I want to ask you guys, what are some of the challenges of being a supporter to an entrepreneur? And I know there are some out there. So anybody who would like to just jump in there, just go ahead and just tell me a little bit about some of the challenges of helping some of these entrepreneurs.
Yes, Peter. We had one inventor that come out with the best phone charger on the planet, but not in the beginning. It's called cores of steel, the right angle. It wasn't the right angle then, but anyway, he produced his first phone charging cord. It wasn't worth the material that he made it out of. They made it out of. And it
a lot of difficulties, right? Yeah, and so we got those cords. They did not work as well. But of course, guys, we are going to there's a positive to this story because of the support of the community. And Henry, I'm glad you brought this up, right? Because again, a lot of entrepreneurs, it would have stopped. That company would have been out of business. However, because of the support of people like Henry and Lori and Richard and Kathy, we were able to overcome that situation. Go ahead, Henry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, keep telling the story because now the right angle is a phenomenal product.
Yes, I had ordered 100 of those things, and I don't think I got 2 of the work. And it's a good thing. He lives in Texas too. He lives about 70 miles from me, and I drove up there, and he met me, and he exchanged the same cars out with the other one, and I was like, "What good is that gonna do? These are no good either." So he said, "Well, let me go back to the drawing board." So that's a good thing, having a community behind you. If he'd have went out and bought a whole lot of them raggedy cars, he'd have went bankrupt. But what he did, he went back to the drawing board and came out with a great phone charger made of steel. It would charge your Apple as well as your Android with the same head, and on the UPS end, it goes in either way. So that was a big blessing to him. So now he's doing great.
And I got to tell you, with the community support, with being able to do that, overcame that challenge. That is amazing. Lori, go ahead.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, it was a great example. I wasn't even thinking of the cords of steel at first. So in the beginning, I had all these cords and I did the shows, and having a community like this, to be a part of this, the challenge is, of course, there's going to be mistakes. And most of the companies or inventors, they would fold and it would be over and they would lose all this money. And we got to be a buffer. We were a community that was a buffer. I exchanged cords and I told them, hey, look, it's a lifetime guarantee. And I gave them a new one, and I never went public to people, oh, they're breaking and it's negative, and we were a buffer, and now we have an amazing, beautiful product, and so many people have no idea what the struggles were. That is an amazing community, amazing system for new entrepreneurs, because of course there's going to be problems, of course there's going to be growing pains, there's going to be glitches, there are going to be inferior product materials to make products, and we got to be that buffer together. We got to join hands and be blockers for the naysayers, and look what we have now. It's fantastic.
And the fact is that our community members, because we were able to help him overcome that, have literally made hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits doing shows, because we were able to work through that process and help them there. Guys, it's tough being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of work. Again, there will be issues and problems in manufacturing, in marketing, in messaging, all different areas. And that's why we encourage, that's why this show is not just about the next big idea, but it's the people behind the next big idea. And then it's the people that are supporting them through getting that next big idea to marketplace. There's not a single person out there that can make it without a support system, whether that support system are the employees they hire, whether that support system are family members, investors, and then in our case with kulaBrands, it's people purchasing the product through reward-based crowdfunding, people doing branding and marketing, people doing sales at shows, and all of those type of things that are supporting and helping. So anybody else that would like to talk about maybe some frustrations, I know with crowdfunding, guys, reward-based crowdfunding, you're early on in that process, and there are some delays in receiving products from time to time. Anybody would like to talk maybe a little bit about that subject and maybe some delays in receiving some of the products that you've reward-based crowdfunded?
Yeah, Peter, that's one of the things that I focus on in training with new people coming in. In the beginning with kulaBrands, we focused a lot on the crowdfunding piece for royalty paying crowdfunding points. Over time, the points pay royalties, right? And we learned, I think it was just about a year ago, that we really needed to shift our focus on helping people understand the helping in the sales process and helping in the branding process, especially for our brands that were already paying royalties, so that people could get into the game and really start getting those royalties. So what happens in a crowdfunding situation when a company first comes, maybe the product was just an idea when they came, right? Maybe it's not very far along. Well, that's going to take some time to get through the crowdfunding process, to get them enough money to be able to manufacture the product. And then there's the shipping of the product, and then there's the glitches that come up where they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money through the crowdfunding to do the things that they needed to do. And then we've got members who don't get their products when they're expecting them. And that's been a bit of a struggle for sure. I'm glad
I know
focus.
Richard wants to share something as well on this issue.
Yeah, Peter, thank you. Along the lines of sort of like I told people that I brought into kulaBrands, it's not about when you get the product, because you will get the product. It's about, on one hand, inventors do need to set reasonable expectations as to, they need to know their numbers. They need to know how long does it take for Kickstarter once the or Indiegogo or any other crowdfunding platform. Once the crowdfunding platforms are, the crowdfunding is closed, how long does it take for them to transfer the funds to them? How long does it take for the manufacturing? And then, just to piggyback, tack on a couple of months just because of shipping or whatever. God forbid, some military coup in some foreign country where the product's coming from. Who knows? There's always things that are going to come up. So there's that
pandemic, right? I mean,
yes. Well, I didn't want to bring that up. But
life is unpredictable, right? We
exactly.
don't know what's going to happen. And one of the things as an entrepreneur, guys, and the entrepreneurs that are listening, because I hope we have a lot of support and people listening too. Everything always takes longer than you think it's going to, and it always costs more to get done than you budget for. Those are two things as an entrepreneur that you always want to watch out for. Costs more, takes longer, and if you adjust and plan in the beginning for that, it can make the process a lot easier and a lot more to run through. So real quick, guys, can you guys go through maybe some of your favorite products that you've received, that you're using right now, that you've gotten some value from? Let's jump into that side of it.
Well, Peter, it's kind of hard just to pinpoint one because we have so many good products. We have cores of steel, Nestor Jam, speakers, new baby clothes, and I can go on and on. We got 43 different products, and every one so far that I've received is the best on the market.
That's awesome. Anybody else?
So I have a lot of my favorites. I drink LP9 daily. It's helped me kick my soft drink habit. There's a lot of products that I personally have no use for that we have at kulaBrands. They make great gifts. I'm looking across the way in my apartment. I'm like, I have a Drop-It Baby I need to ship to a friend, but I can't because of, I can't get to the post office, but for now. But, I use my cords of steel every day. So many products that are just so useful. I mean, my friends are like, how are your teeth so white? I'm like, oh, it's Ninja Cosmetics. It's the Cocoa Ninja. It's just these little things that help you through the day that is just, help you. And I'm still using all of my products throughout, they're just helping me get through all of this craziness, self-confinement, because I'm just like, pampering myself in the bathroom with all of the Ninja Cosmetics products just for fun, along with some of the Helix products as well.
Well, Richard, you brought up a great point. So a lot of times when we come across entrepreneurs, we're like, hey, we want to help, but maybe the product doesn't fit. And I love the fact that you mentioned, that you can purchase a product maybe that you don't need, but then be able to give that to a gift to someone else. So bring some value to them while still helping the entrepreneur. Go ahead, Lori. You wanted to go ahead and talk?
Yeah, because it's so much fun. There's so many awesome products, but I went to everybody was having babies at the same time. 4 baby showers in a row. I got to give Yehudi a book, the plush doll. I got to give Drop-It Baby, and I got to give the amazing little bodysuits. And as they're opening the gifts, like it's a big presentation, and they're so amazing. I'm like, I know I got to be with this company to help them launch this, and I'm going to earn royalties because I'm giving you a gift. And I got more oohs and ahs than all the other baby. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. Like I felt like these are my products. Well, really
I think with quarantine and stay in place orders, we might be having a baby boom in about 9 months. So these products may actually be really in need. Being able to support entrepreneurs in this baby space. We're coming up on the end of this break. We're going to be back with the final segment with our guests. We're going to continue to talk about being a support system for entrepreneurs. Guys, it is so important. You don't have to start the business yourself. You can find somebody who's started a business, support and help them, and be a part of that journey. That's what I want to cover in the next segment, guys, is really how much do you guys feel like you're a part of this? We will see you on the other side of this break.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet, and you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on the next big idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
I was 35 when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. My ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me. I felt hopeless. He called Elite Rehab Placement because I couldn't make the call. I was ashamed. I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger, and more importantly, I'm 3.5 years sober. I'm so grateful for all their help. And all it took was making one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. That's 800-918-1376.
Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Oh, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
All right, we're back for the final segment with our guest panel of supporters of entrepreneurs. So guys, we've touched a little bit about this throughout the show, but can you guys give us, I mean, again, I went one time to a very small town. I was on my way traveling through, and I went in to eat, and on the back of the wall, they had a bunch of products. And one of the products that was there, it was something that I had developed, and the pride that I felt seeing my product there, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, what is that? And when he explained it to me, he was excited about the product, and that made me feel good. Also, we had got a product in Target, and it was Crazy Bones was the name of the product. And when I walked in the door, they had a big sign that said crazy station mutation, right? So Crazy Bones mutation station. And I felt so proud of that. What's the pride that you guys get out of, and you've mentioned a little bit about this with Henry, with helping out, but the pride of watching. So I don't know if any of you guys been able to go to Bye Bye Baby and see Easy on Babies in the store or Swabbies in the store. What's that feeling like, seeing our products and knowing that you helped make that happen?
Well, I know Lori actually did a demo in a Bye Bye Baby store for Easy on Babies. So I would love to hear from her.
Oh, you got to tell us about that, Lori.
Yeah, so that was just crazy awesome. When I walked in the store and I said, hey, and I introduced myself, and they went, oh, I know which one you mean. And they have how many different brands everywhere, and they knew right away exactly where to take me. And they offered to get the table out to do the demo, and I brought food and stuff, and they put it in the break room, and they made all the employees have to come see my demo before they could go down and partake of the food. It was a really cool experience. And
so Lori, being able to show that product and see the reaction of the customers when you showed it to them, can you give us a little bit about that? Because again, you saw it before it was really in the marketplace, and now all of a sudden you're showing it to customers, and did they get the same feeling that you did? How did that feel to you?
Well, it felt really cool, and I'll tell you why. It was one of the it might even be the very first thing I ever crowdfunded on. And I didn't have babies, and I wasn't going to have any grandchildren for a long time. So it was very emotional. And then the inventor and I, beautiful Julietta, we were talking and texting and this and that, and it really felt like it was amazing to be a part of it. And then when I demonstrated it, people might walk by because they have 1,000 cute things, but when they saw it, oh, they were excited. And so it was an eye catcher. It was really neat, super, super neat to be a part of that. Super neat. And the other thing that I share with people on it, to switch gears to another brand, is Donovan was my friend first. He was a member like me. He was a karaoke singer, and what the heck is he doing? It's crazy. Like #1 hits here in Europe, and then we got King of Hearts, and I was in the studio, and just so much. It's really awesome.
That's really awesome. Henry, go ahead, buddy.
Well, Peter, I live in Texas, and anything new that come out, Texas is going to be the last one to get it. So what I like about kulaBrands, I have my own store. So I can go to my own store, order the product, and get paid royalties on it. But what I like about it is, back to McCoy's of Steel, I order McCoy's of Steel, and I put it in stores in Waco. And what makes me feel so good is when I walk into the store, when I go back a couple of weeks to check it out and see people pulling my product off the shelf and buying them. And I get to tell them, I put that there. That makes me feel so good.
And that's huge. So, Henry, you hit on a very good point there. So, like I said, starting a business is extremely hard. So, and maybe, life is there and you have a good job and you want to keep that job, but yet you want to be part of that entrepreneurial experience, especially with kulaBrands. It allows you to be able to do that, still be a part of it, still have that feeling of helping create that value without having to work maybe 80 or 100 hours a week, quit your job, and take some of the risk of being an entrepreneur. Richard, go ahead, buddy.
I'm really glad you said that, because that's exactly where I was going with this. For me, it gives me the opportunity to live vicariously through the inventors, because I myself am a designer, I'm an entrepreneur, but I don't have the ability to give up my job full time to support myself to pursue my dreams, because, life, exists. So, it's not like I can just say, okay, I'm going to just stop doing that and do my thing and then make it happen, because, it takes a lot of money to do that. So for me to be able to do what I can for the inventors, possibly earn something in the meantime, then I'll help once I get them going, help keep pushing them up along, which will help then build up the royalties, which will allow me to eventually pull away from what I'm doing full time, so that way I can pursue my dreams. So, it gives me that opportunity I'm not at that point where I can be a full-time inventor, entrepreneur, but, I can do what I can, help when possible. And every day I just ask myself, have I done enough? Can I do more? What else can I do to make, someone else's dreams come true, to make them, further them along, which will in turn pull me along with.
So I love that, Richard. So you're talking about being able to help enough entrepreneurs to where eventually you have the cash flow then for you to pursue your own entrepreneurial endeavor. So that's that. And I love it. It's that patience. And by the way, guys, it's one of the top things you need as an entrepreneur is patience to make things happen. Also, as a supporter of entrepreneurs, patience is huge, right? Having to go, we just had a situation where we're working on something in software, and we thought we had everything resolved. And then, the app stores came back and said, sorry, you can't put that in there. So now we're having to go back to the drawing board and figure it out. But we've already figured it out though, right? Because entrepreneurs solve problems. If you are here and listening to this from an entrepreneur, you're going to have to solve problems. If you are somebody who wants to support entrepreneurs, your goal is to what? Remind them that it is their job as an entrepreneur is to what? Solve problems. That is why companies exist, is to help people solve problems in their life, create value in their lives, and that is how you build a company. Deb, did you want to say something?
No, I think you're spot on right there. The patience is key, and that has tripped some people up who've come into kulaBrands who didn't realize it's a patience model. Building any business, a real business, is a patience model.
Awesome. Kathy, go ahead.
Yeah, it does definitely take patience, but we are a patient people and we see the bigger picture. We definitely see the vision. If you have the true Kula heart, you know that these things take time. And it is so satisfying and it brings such joy to know that we have helped these projects, these businesses, these products get placed in truck stops all across America, on Amazon, in Walmart now. And that just blows my mind. And it is so exciting to be a part of that. And yes, it does take patience, but we see the vision and we will get there.
Well, and I got to tell you guys, one of the things that I find through this is I've built a lot of friendships and relationships with you guys, but also you guys building friendships and relationships with the inventors. One of the things that really is a part of having a support network is that encouragement. And can you guys give me a little bit of that side of it? We've heard from some of the inventors, the texts, the messages, and I know from an entrepreneurial perspective, from me, getting those texts and messages of support and help are just incredible. Go ahead, Lori.
It's exactly what I was getting ready to say, Peter. That's crazy. The beautiful thing is the friendships that we all have with each other, and we have with inventors, like very successful entrepreneurs with vision and stick-to-itiveness and intention, and it's amazing. And we have friendships with them. It's real. It's a community, and it's a force to be reckoned with. And we are going to be the business model that people, whoever's listening to this radio show, you need to do your due diligence. Don't expect to get rich fast, but expect to gain friendships and a bond. Like at a time like this where we're all locked down, we have thousands of people and we love and care about each other. And it's just unbelievable. And it's just, come and join us. Come see what we're about. That's all.
Guys, and I got to tell you, I've spent time with the people that are on this panel. It takes a very special type of person to do what you guys are doing. And it's needed, guys. I'm telling you, as a society, as people, if you're listening to this show, find an entrepreneur, support them, help them on their journey. Entrepreneurship it's the reason why we have so many great things, even within the tough times we're at. It's entrepreneurs that are stepping up and helping solve these problems and move things forward. I'm sorry to say we're coming up on the end of this show. Guys, we will be back with another show tomorrow. It is incredible what is going on out there in the world with entrepreneurship. Reach out again, help an entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us on the next big idea, and we're looking forward to seeing you on a future show.
Did you ever imagine that these little inventions like radio and the internet, that there was a time when they were considered the next big idea? And yet here you are today, having just heard a program called The Next Big Idea. Peter Gantner is your host. He's one of the founders of kulaBrands, and they can help you whether you've got an idea of your own or you just want to get in on the ground floor of the next big thing. Peter and his co-hosts and guests are here weekdays on Better Living Radio to discuss the ins and outs of creating, manufacturing, branding, and marketing the best of the big ideas. Maybe you've got one, or maybe you want to be involved in one. You're definitely tuned into the right spot. So hear this. You can hear this program weekdays at the same time on Better Living Radio as kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and the Next Big Idea. You may know David McLaughlin from his program here at Better Living Radio. A lot of people know him because he's helped them to get the money for residential and commercial properties when they'd just about given up. Diamond Dave McLaughlin is a pro with a wealth of knowledge and a responsive attitude. Yeah, he's one of those guys who actually calls you back. In fact, the cornerstone of his business is built on great communication. David specializes in helping people with one of their most important dreams, financing a home, and enhancing the economic well-being of his customers one loan at a time. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you're looking for a pro to guide you through any kind of stress-free financing process, catch Dave's show. It's called Where to Get the Money. You can get all of Dave's contact info. In fact, the best place to find David McLaughlin is right there on the homepage at betterlivingradio.com. The next $1 million idea is being formed each and every day. How many of those ideas, brands, companies, or musicians will break into the market, let alone make it to the top? At kulaBrands, we work hand in hand with inventors and creative folks to boost their brands. From concept to products ready to take the world stage, kulaBrands provides entrepreneurs with funding, brand creation, gap sales, marketing, and more. Using a rewards-based royalty system, both kulaBrands and your company succeed. Where will I get the money? How do I reach a global customer base? How or where do I get my products manufactured? kulaBrands helps solve these challenges and helps your business on a path to success. kulaBrands, changing the way new ideas get to market, and yours could be next. Reach out to kulaBrands at kulaBrands.com. That's K-U-L-A, kulaBrands.com, or see the contact info on the homepage at betterlivingradio.com.